prices. But it's the first time I've ever seen it in our area. And now I think that we're starting to settle off now. Right now we're probably back up to about 160 listings on the marketplace. So we're starting to see supply catch up. So supply and demand are kind of even right now. The number of units compared to the last year are down about 20%. But that's not a hard thing to do, right? We were sitting in a marketplace that was, head and shoulders above any marketplace we've ever seen. So to compare this year to an absolutely stellar year is a hard thing to do. So yes, we are down a little bit. Prices haven't fallen yet. Units have, volume has, but prices hasn't. And it's actually the same across BC. There's the odd marketplace in BC where prices have fallen. Who's to say whether they will or they won't? But at this time, they really haven't.
What, in this kind of market where the supply and demand are equal, when they talk about a buyer's market or a seller's market, so what is this kind of a market then?
I don't know if I'd say whether it would be a buyer's or a seller's market. I think it's pretty level. Buyers are starting to have more to choose from, which in many cases is a good thing, right? It kind of levels our marketplace off. We have a fair amount of product in the marketplace. We don't have an abundance of product. So it's normally when you start seeing an abundance of product that you're going to say, oh, it's a buyer's market, or if it's a seller's market. When in the last number of years, it's certainly been a seller's marketplace, right? But I think that it's turning, and I wouldn't say that it's either or. Our prices are still maintaining, and we still have product in the marketplace.
Can you talk a little bit about pricing? Like what affects, how do people or realtors decide, how do they work together to figure out what their house would sell for, what the best ultimate price would be?
Yeah, over the past couple of years it's been tough to do because our marketplace changes monthly, and in some cases weekly. We're finding that for a good portion of 2007, from mid-2006 to the later 2007, we were finding property values in our area increasing by between 1.5% and 2% each month. Right? So when we're doing evaluations on properties, we have to take that into account. It's kind of interesting because people buying housing normally don't move in for a couple of months. And it's interesting to see a house worth more when you move into it from when you've purchased it. So that was, I've never seen that in our marketplace before. But it's, the values have leveled off a little bit, but it's still pretty stable.
So what would you do as a realtor or somebody working from your office if somebody contacted them and they wanted to list their property? What advice do you give people as to how to figure out a selling price?
So what we do is basically it's a two-stage process. So we'd come in and we'd take photos and have a look at the house and just basically get all the detailed information on the house, square footage, a number of bedrooms, bathrooms, heating sources, stuff like that. And then we go back and we actually pull listings off the multiple listing service that have sold within the past, say, 6 months, and look at comparable housing. Houses that are of similar size and similar locations with similar number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and see what they sold for, see how long it took it to sell, and if there was a comparable home that just sold down the street, for instance, but it only had 3 bedrooms, and the house that we're doing the evaluation on has 5 bedrooms, we'd make an adjustment to accommodate for the difference in value, right? And normally if you have 4, 5, 6 sales, and you do this for the 4, 5, 6 sales, and you'd average the value, and you'd have something very accurate as to what that property is worth in the marketplace today.
How about a recreation property in the Kootenays?
That's something that we've seen increase for sure. That's even raw land, right? Raw land values sat stagnant for a long time, right? It just, you see your residential real estate prices going up and down, but raw land sat for quite some time at the same values, and then again, just over the past 3 to 4 years, it's the first time we've seen them really increase in price. Same thing recreationally, right? We're seeing a lot of people from Alberta coming in and purchasing a lot of our recreational property, or even just raw land property, be it for investment or for just coming and spending the summers, or, you know, we truly do, like, we live in a beautiful, beautiful area, and I think that a lot of people, shouldn't say take it for granted, but just, you almost forget about it.
Right.
Until you leave the area, you understand what people coming into the area see.
Right.
We have beautiful full 4 seasons. It's not really cold. It's nice and warm in the winters. I'm sorry, nice and warm in the summers.
Yeah.
You know, we're just below 0 in the winter time, which isn't really all that tough. So no, and I can see why a lot of the people from Alberta, we're seeing from the Lower Mainland, Okanagan, we're even seeing a lot of people coming in from the UK, right? And they're just falling in love with our area. So now we're seeing a lot of the recreational properties start increasing in value for sure.
Is it, you know, we have our recreational people that come and want to buy those particular properties, and then you have just other people that are looking for maybe another home, or wanting to upgrade their home, or how do you see and to me, that's that property, or that part of the real estate market where people are just buying up homes to live in, it seems that it isn't as fast paced as it was. And the recreational property, how do you figure on that?